Welcome to Down and Distance, greatest weekend ever, Labor Day recap. Yeah, you heard that right. Let's jump into some headlines. College football is back, and I got your week one recap right here. Our headlines, we got the playoffs is now moving from 4 teams to 12 teams. Wow. Some people are like, wow, 4 is enough, but I mean, 6? I mean, we can try 6. No, we're going to give you 12. And I like the idea. And I like how it's set up. I'll explain later. I got a whole segment about how the playoffs is going to expand later on. But our next headline is the defense. No teams are doing defense. You have got to see some of these high-scoring teams these days. Florida State putting up 47 points. Well, I mean, they didn't allow 7 points, but I mean, you see who they played. Okay, anyway, North Carolina, 56 points. They allowed 24 points. Not bad. I mean, but like, let's jump into more of these high-scoring games. Oklahoma State put up 58 points. Central Michigan put up 44 points. Yeah, imagine scoring 44 points and losing. Alright, how about West Virginia? They scored 31 points. I mean, they lost to Pitt, who scored 38. Wake Forest scored 44. Well, I mean, they did play some FCS team. Penn State? I guess. 35-31 they won. But I mean, some of these games are just plain out ridiculous how they won. Because North Carolina's second game of the season against Appalachian State, they allowed 61 points. And guess what? They won! 63-61. What is that? I've seen a lot of those scores, a lot of tight games. I mean, they're exciting games to watch, high-scoring games, but where's the defense? Well, I'll tell you who has the defense, but it's the other way around. Guess who scored 7 points without scoring a touchdown? Yep, Iowa. They won 7-3. 2 safeties and a field goal. That was probably the most boring game I've ever watched. I don't think I've ever seen. I mean, Iowa had a great defense. I mean, South Dakota State's a good team. I mean, yeah, they're FCS. But, I mean, they're really good. The Jagrabbits are really good in the FCS. They got some history down there. But, really, how can you have defense and special teams score more points than your offense? I don't get that at all. Anyway, let's do my Slay Report podcast, and I'll go more in a rant about what I saw week one. But, fourth quarter overtime, Liberty Southern Mississippi. That was quite an entertaining game. Back and forth. Talk about, well, if you want to talk about no defense at all, but I mean, you pretty much had to play offense to score points in overtime. And I gotta say, defense did a really good job there. Liberty won 29-27, going for 2. What an amazing game. And that was, I think, the highest not the first overtime we've had this season, but the longest overtime we've had so far. Anyway, let's move on to some Florida State LSU. Here's some highlights from that game. Sunday night, wild inning. Florida State punting. They feel like their defense is strong enough, but in LSU, he muffed the punt! Florida State's got it! What in the world? That's actually his second straight time muffing the punt. Wow, Brian Kelly should have pulled in the first time. Florida State! First and goal, and he muffed it right back to LSU. Oh my goodness, Florida State had a chance to end the game right there, but they handed it right to LSU. But the thing is, LSU's got to go 99 yards. They do just that. They get it to the red zone. Quick throw. They got 2, 1, just out of bounds. Wow, they got one pass to do at the 1. Let's see what he does. He finds a man open back in the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown. Extra point would send it to overtime. Are we going to have, once again, another overtime game? Let's see if that happens. All you got to do is make an extra point. And it's blocked. Florida State blocked it and won the game. Brian Kelly's first game ends in a wild disaster. Let's recap some more Week 1 games. Oregon just gets destroyed. I mean, Georgia, obviously, we knew Georgia was going to be good, but we didn't know they were going to be this good. 49-3 over Oregon. Come on, Pac-12. And you want to learn more about that? Well, I guess Florida State just beat LSU, but I mean, I got some more terrible Pac-12 news for you. And Ohio State won 21-10 over Notre Dame. Marcus Freeman needs to learn how to keep a win. Notre Dame was leading majority of that game, but they just got to find a way to finish it. They let Ohio State get back into it. Anyway, Arkansas won 31-24 over Cincinnati, and that was quite a show. I mean, back and forth. I mean, that was a good defensive game, but I mean, the offense, the quarterbacks were just amazing. The play call was just amazing in that game. And also, Florida managed to come back against Utah and winning 29-26. So once again, the two best teams, the Pac-12, are down. Also, some other Group of 5 headlines. Coastal Carolina beat Army 38-28. It's closer than what I expected. And also, Houston didn't lead the whole game up until the end. 37-35, they beat UTSA, which UTSA is a good team. I think they went almost undefeated last year. I think they had like one loss last year up until their conference championship game. Anyway, yep, there's the score right there. Iowa won 7-3 over South Dakota State. What an embarrassing win. I mean, did you see the fans in the stadium? They were like, yeah, this arms crosses like, I can't believe we didn't score a single touchdown. And then, NC State, Eastern Carolina was a close one. I had NC State winning the ACC, and they won 21-20. Not how I wanted that to go. Anyway, North Carolina, Appalachian State putting on an offense that showed no defense at all. North Carolina, 63-61. And also, just because I got to throw Alabama in here because they shut out Utah State 55-0. And some more highlights from Labor Day weekend. On Monday, Clemson battles Georgia Tech. First play of the game, Georgia Tech takes a shot downfield, and it's intercepted. Wow. And Clemson marches right down the field and gets a 4th and goal and runs straight in. Clemson is not going anywhere, but it was late in the first quarter. Later on, Clemson gets it back, 3rd and goal. They get a great defense stop. He throws it into the corner of the end zone, and it's a touchdown. Again, late in the second quarter, they are up 14-0, but Georgia Tech's not done yet. As we got 3rd and 6 at Clemson 13. He takes a shot at the corner of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown. It's down 14-10. We got a ball game. But right here, this late in the third quarter, Clemson runs it. He's going to take a quarterback step right in the end zone, and Clemson ends the game right there, outscoring Georgia Tech 17 points in the fourth quarter. It goes on to win 41-10. All right, let's discuss some college pickups that I had. I didn't do so well. I mean, it's week one. It's hard to tell, but I mean, I really didn't think I did that great. I went 5-5, 35 points. Not that great, but I did get the Ohio State pick right. Now, Ohio State did win 21-10, and I guess 31 points, and you combine both points together for the total final score. I got that right. Week 1, I got the final score right. I'm never close. I'm never within 20 points. Somehow. But this is my year. This is probably going to be the closest I'm going to get so far now. But it boosted my confidence that I can at least get one right. But anyway, I'm going to sum up how I did for my pick'em, and then I'm going to go straight into my spread, which you probably don't want to see anyway. This is why I don't actually bet. I didn't actually do too bad last year. But anyway, the ones that killed me is I went for San Diego State over in Arizona. And then I picked Utah over Florida. Although I did the confidence rankings, so they were lower. But I really did a good job. I picked Houston at my number 10. Barely won that. Also, I should have had BYU at 10. Man, they won 50-21 over South Florida. I had them at 9. My biggest loss probably is Oregon. I had Oregon winning at 4 at my 4th spot of confidence. I had Boise State. I think my most disappointed one. I probably should have seen Georgia coming. I should have had that. But most disappointing one is Boise State losing to Oregon State. I really thought that this was a Boise State's year. And also, since when does Boston College lose to Rutgers, not have a great year? I mean, I know that they're not the best team in the ACC, but they're known for playing great all the way up until they meet Miami, Clemson, and Pitt, pretty much. Alright, now on to my spread. Yep, you're seeing that correctly. I went 3-7 to get the spread week 1. I always like to change it, on the game of the week final score. I usually do a big difference because I'm usually way off, but I just had a strong feeling it was going to be a low scoring game, so I stuck way close to 31. I picked 27. I was close. Once again, I was close. Alright, which I should have seen that coming since I picked it closer than my pickup thing. Anyway, it's not confidence in the spread. You just get the spread. But anyway, I had Oregon covering the spread by 17.5. Didn't get that right at all. I also had Oklahoma covering the spread by 32.5. I was very close. Oklahoma almost covered that. But I mean, I like the way Oklahoma played. I feel strong about where Oklahoma's going. I actually had Rice covering the spread by 34.5. I wasn't even close at all. I also liked the way Kentucky played. I had them covering 20.5, and they did an amazing job covering that. I mean, they totally destroyed Miami, Ohio. And also, I knew that Notre Dame and Ohio State would be a close game. I knew Ohio State would come up top, but I knew that Notre Dame would cover the spread, 14.5, and I got that right. Also, I don't know what I was thinking. I had Utah State covering Alabama spread, 38.5. Utah State didn't even score. I feel embarrassed. Also, Texas, 39.5 for Texas. Out the window. Kent State trying to help some lower group of 5 teams out there. 21.5. Yeah, they lost 45-20. It's time for this week's overrated and underrated. This week's overrated team is Iowa. Yeah, their defense looks great, but in order for them to really stand out in the Big Ten and maybe give Michigan, Ohio State, Michigan State, Wisconsin, other teams some upsets, you gotta have an offense, and I did not see that. Yeah, they had a great defensive team, just like last year, but they're repeating history like last year. I mean, guess how many games they lost because they couldn't score a game. Yeah, defense wins championships. That's true. I mean, look at Georgia. I mean, they're dominating, but, their defense is putting up points for them, but also, make sure you have a good enough offense to back up your defense. I mean, your offense can't find a score, can't put up scores. I mean, even when your defense gives you a safety and you get the ball back, it still gives you, great field position. You should be able to at least get a field goal off that. that's just embarrassing. I mean, not able to put up offensive points. I mean, I get it. If you just really focus on defense and you just don't have good enough offense to put up touchdowns that much, but at least get some field goals, or at least get a few enough to win the game. And this week's underrated team is Florida. The way that they shut down Utah, or really not shut down, but I mean, able to break down Utah and win that game. I wouldn't say when the comeback game was really back and forth game. It was really hard to tell who was going to win that game. I really thought that Utah had that game won at some time, but Florida just kept battling, kept scoring. Really back and forth game. I like the way Florida plays, and Florida is going to be the team to look out for in the SEC. Now, they probably won't win it. I'm not saying that, they're so underrated and they're going to be the team that we wouldn't expect to win the SEC. Now, I may have them featured a couple of times, and then that'll be it. Once they start conference play, we'll really see how Florida plays. Even Utah. Once conference play starts, we'll really see how Utah and Oregon plays. Alright. The playoffs expanded to 12 teams earlier this weekend, and the latest they're going to start is 2026. I can't wait. I mean, some people are thinking 12 teams when the rumor got out last year that 12 teams is going to be a lot. I really don't think so. I mean, yeah, I like the bowl system. I think it still gives that, but I really think some of it, because like some of these bigs that they announced even before the playoffs, I mean, there were teams that were like just not even try in their bowl games if they didn't make the playoff or the BCS National Championship game. I'm just like, because they're let down if they lost. I was like, players opting out, and I hate seeing that. This will give them more an opportunity to be like, hey, we're in a 12-team playoff. Let's try it. And it gives group of 5 teams a chance to pull up and said, hey, maybe Cincinnati didn't do a great job as we thought we would have done last year. But if we had the 12-team playoff last year, they probably would have made to the Final Four. But they probably would have upset a Power 5 team with what they had last year. I'll have to check. I think that they probably had the ability to beat Oregon. Or maybe Utah. A Pac-12 team, maybe. But probably definitely not an SEC or Big Ten. They probably would have beaten Oklahoma State. Or Baylor. But, yeah. Here's the big map of what the bracket will look like. And, basically, how it's set up is basically what they get to the semifinals. It's basically the 4 teams that we're used to right now. But basically, there are 2 spots. So the first round, the higher seed plays at home. And I like it. 12 versus 5. Good matchup. I mean, we'll likely see some more blowouts. But when we have an upset, it makes it worth it. Also, 9 versus 8. Good matchup too. 11-6. Good matchup. 10-7. I like that. The only matchup I like this that I don't like that would probably be a blowout every year is 12-5. But remember, March Madness, 1 versus 16. Blowout every year. But we did have that one year. It took like 10 decades, but finally happened. 1 seed lost. It probably won't take that long. But I mean, I think we'll see a 12 seed lose or a 5 seed go down to a 12 seed earlier than you expected. Maybe even the first year. And also, we don't know when this is going to happen. Also, because they got to finish their remaining 4 years. But 2026 looks like it'll definitely happen. Anyway, let's jump into my rankings. Number 25, I still got Oklahoma State. I moved Wisconsin to my ranking because I like the way they play. I gotta keep an eye on them though. Iowa, I moved them down the spots. I gotta see some more offense from them, but I do like the way they play. 2 safeties, that's rare. Notre Dame, I moved them forward, even though they lost to Ohio State, a good Ohio State team. I gotta see more from them. I gotta see more offensive plays from them. And plus, they blew a big lead. You can't do that against these teams. South Carolina, Ole Miss, Arkansas, Wake, I moved them all up a couple of spots. They're looking better. Their team to watch, they're improving. Clemson, I keep them at 17. And yeah, I made my rankings before the Clemson game, and I was really hoping that so I don't adjust my rankings that much because I already had it set. I was really hoping that Clemson wins and wins it kind of close. Kind of like they did. I mean, it was a close game all the way up to the fourth quarter. So I really like it. How I have there down Clemson where I lost. I probably would have made some adjustments and moved them probably all the way down to 21 and move 18 through 21 up. But if Clemson were to shut them out, I would have had to adjust and move Clemson way up. Anyway, let's move on to 7 through 16. Number 16, I've got BYU, Houston. I didn't move them at all. I like how they were in Houston. Really didn't do so much against UTSA. So I feel like 15 is a good enough spot. Oregon was the most disappointing for me this week. I mean, I really thought that they had a chance. Utah, too. The Pac-12 was the most disappointing. I really thought that Oregon and Utah has the best chance of winning the Pac-12. They probably still do, but they're definitely far from the playoffs. The Pac-12 team had the farthest drop. Michigan, Oklahoma, moving up slightly. Yeah, they got a decent win, but again, they're playing cupcake teams. NC State, I wasn't really impressed that much about that win, so I had to move them down. Pitt, Kentucky, Tennessee, I like the way they played. Pitt outstanding against West Virginia. The backyard brawl, they played, and first rivalry of the season, week 1 on a Thursday night. They played great. Packed the house. Kentucky played great. Tennessee had an amazing game. I mean, these teams did an amazing job. Really just didn't. They'll continue to work their way up if they continue to play this way, but they really need to rely on upsets. Anyway, let's jump into my top 6 teams right now, and I got a couple changes that may surprise you based on what I saw. Again, I still got Ohio State at 1. Yeah, I know that it was a close game against Notre Dame, but they played a very good Notre Dame team, and they had to come back into it. Alabama still 2. Now, I've moved Georgia up 3 spots to number 3. So, I mean, a lot of people say that I had Georgia underrated. Yeah, I got yelled at for that. I have them at 3 now. Happy now? Alright. I got Michigan at 6. I moved them into my top 6. And now it comes down to 4 and 5. Who do I have for that 4th spot? Well, I got Baylor over A&M. I really like the way Baylor plays. They are a great team. I mean, what did they score? 55-0? What an amazing game, and I can't wait to see more from that. A&M is a great team, too. I'll probably likely see more changes as we get into some more bigger games in week 2. Alright, if you haven't checked out already, I got my own podcast. I'm trying to do it every Monday. That's my goal. I'm just get a new computer and try to get it set up. And also, we just had Labor Day weekend, so I've family time. Anyway, every Monday, 6 o'clock, that's my goal. I'll have it out just like Down and Distance. I'm going to record them. I record Down and Distance first, and then I record Slater Report podcast. They're both super easy to Slater Report is super easy to record. It just takes me about 30 minutes. Down and Distance, it takes me a couple hours, but I get it done. It's no big deal. And also, check out our website. We got lots of great things going on our Busy Reports website. So you can check out our latest news, our big games. You can see what games we're going to feature on American Game Day later this week. And also, we got a couple teams you can do. And also, we do some other sports too. We got NBA, NFL, college basketball, the Olympics, whenever that starts back up in 4 years. And also, you might want to check out American Game Day every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. It's a great show, it's a flagship show. Come check it out. And this is actually, American Game Day last week was actually our first video recorded on my new computer, so you might want to check it out. Some great graphics, and I got some great new graphics that I just finished building, so the graphics are going to continue getting better, and you're going to love what I have planned for store for American Game Day this week. Alright, let's jump right in to the games to watch this week! Now, the recording of this video and the graphics were made before week 2 of the AP poll came out, so if you're watching this after it, just let you know that the rankings will be wrong. Anyway, Louisville, UCF, a good game Friday night. You're into some Friday night football and you're not interested in whatever high school game you're into Friday night. Anyway, next game, Saturday at 11 o'clock on ESPN Saturday morning. South Carolina, Arkansas. A really good game. Number 19, Arkansas, at the time of this recording. And they'll likely move up a couple spots. They might be 17 based on what I've seen this past week. But, a great game. And I can't wait to see it. We'll see if South Carolina, Spencer Rattler, can pull up an upset. But Sam Pittman's got it good in Arkansas. Arkansas is the team to watch in the SEC. SEC is probably underdog in the SEC. That I might have them featured next week in my underrated. Anyway, a big game Saturday. I'm surprised it's on the SEC network and not like on an ESPN net, better like ESPN2. I know a lot of people are like, well, Vanderbilt's on it. Well, had you seen the play? They put up 63 points against Hawaii. And this past week, I don't remember who they played, but they played really great. And I can't wait. Wake Forest, the team to watch, and the ACC too. So, ACC versus SEC, that'll be an interesting game to watch. I'm surprised. Look out for Vanderbilt there. And also, Tennessee, Pitt, 2:30 on ABC. Good game to watch. I love what Tennessee is doing there. And Pitt's got a great program as well. Alright, now, can Iowa State pull off this upset against Iowa? Yeah, we likely will. Yeah, Iowa State's got a great offense. Look out for them. Matt Campbell built a great offense down there. Iowa, I mean, if they can figure out a way to score, they could probably win that game. But I just do not see that the way they played. Also, Houston, going to get the really good defensive Texas Tech team. We'll see if Houston can score. I mean, they had no problem scoring against UTSA, but the problem is, can they stop Texas Tech defense? Or can their defense stop Texas Tech offense? We'll just have to find out. And also, USC, first big game of the season, week 2 against Stanford. We'll see. Stanford's one of those teams in the Pac-12 that just somehow pulls off one upset a year, and USC could be one of them. And this is a great game. I can't wait to see it. I almost wanted to put this as my game of the week, but I feel like there are a lot better games out there. Like Baylor, BYU. Now, a lot of people are probably thinking, well, why didn't ESPN feature this the game of the week? And I'm not even featuring their game of the week. I mean, there's a better game than this. I know. 2 ranked teams and it not featured game of the week. I mean, BYU would have loved to go have game day there. But they're not. They're going to Alabama and Texas, which I'm not even featuring that. I'm not even featuring that as one of our games this week. Big game this week. Anyway, I got Kentucky and Florida as our game this week. As the way Florida beat Utah, it's like, if they could beat number 7 Utah, and I don't remember, I think I had Utah in my top 10 week 1. But, if they could beat a really good Kentucky, Mike Stoops did a great job there. And if Florida could somehow beat Kentucky, this is a game to watch in the SEC. Anyway, thanks for watching. Next show, next Monday at 6 p.m. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.